hi. I didn't know y'all were gonna be here. Now I'm just messing with you. It is Friday. You know what that means. Episode 6 of Barely Homemade. Today, I have been waiting for since I started making these episodes. Today's dish is really, really special. We're making steaks. When I was younger, my grandmother would make lengua for everyone, and it was not my cup of tea, to be honest with you. So she would actually make steaks kind of off to the side, like just for me. And she would make it exactly the way that I'm going to make it for you all. And that is honestly what makes it so special for me to share this with you. So we're going to start off with the actual steak. I could do a whole episode on different types of steaks, different types of cuts. I don't have the time for that today. We did ribeye today. It has really great marbling, and it's not hard to find a good ribeye with great marbling. Marbling is like that, all those little packets of fat that you see here. Fat equals flavor. Don't ever forget that, okay? We're also going to be doing some bacon wrapped asparagus and some rosemary potatoes. Super easy, super simple, very delicious. All right. Now, I am drinking Robert Mondavi Private Selection Cabernet. I did pour a little bit more. It's a Daniel pour. It's not a restaurant pour. They're different. One of us is doing it wrong, and I don't think it's me. Whatever. All right, so we're going to start off with the asparagus. Everything's been washed. Don't worry. So with the asparagus, they're going to come in a bunch like this, okay? Now, if you cook the whole thing as is, there are going to be parts towards the bottom that gets really stringy and really tough to eat. You don't want that. Best way to figure out what to cut off, take one, snap it off, okay? Take another one just to kind of have a better gauge of what you're going to cut off. And now we're going to kind of measure it with the rest of the bunch, okay? Now, it's not an exact science. Okay. So we're going to cut these ends off. Oh, I didn't talk about my cutting board. Y'all, this is like my favorite cutting board. So it has different compartments that you open up here. It's like if you're cooking bell peppers, you know, chop, 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 scoop them in here, leave them in here until they're done. And there's actually one like a junk drawer, so all these little bits that I'm not using go in here until I'm ready to throw them away. Okay. All right. Next, put it in a bowl. Doing olive oil. Get a good dose. Okay, we're coating all of them. Next, salt. Not a whole lot of salt because we are going to be getting more salt from the bacon, okay? Now I know it looks like a lot of salt, but I haven't mixed it yet, so calm down. And for those of y'all who texted me that I was running late, I'm sorry. We were having some difficulties, but I'm here. You're welcome. Everything's good. Okay, so we can get about 3 bunches from these. We're gonna get a good handful. Okay, get a good palmful like this. We're actually gonna be taking 2 strips of bacon, and we're going around and around. Okay. And we're gonna be putting this aside. That goes there. Now the ends like this, where you see that, you actually want to try to turn that on the side so that way it's not flipping over whenever it's cooking. It'll kind of set like that. Okay. All right, next one. And if you just want to use kind of one bacon, play around with it, completely fine. Other than garlic, I love bacon. I think that just makes everything better. So I'm using 2 strips. You're more than welcome to do 1 if you want to do 3. Go crazy. If you want to do less, if you want to do like this 3 or 4 and wrap one, that's fine too. Another substitute, you can use turkey bacon. I don't know why you would, but hey, that's all. Everyone's different.
I use it. Oh, my bad.
This stick. No, turkey bacon would work just as fine too. Prosciutto actually would be a nice substitute for this. Okay, so we're just gonna lay them flat here. So this tray, I have a regular baking sheet right here. but there's a rack, and what that's going to do is going to allow heat to evenly cook all the way around everything, right? So we're going to be everything's going to go on here. Potatoes are going on here. The steaks are going on here. They're going to be able to cook really evenly and really well, get a good crisp on everything. Okay. All right. Next, potatoes. Use any kind of potatoes. Today I got small gold potatoes. Now, one thing that I do want to recommend is, if you notice, they're really smooth all the way around. There's not a whole lot of like crevices, and if you were to peel them, it would be pretty easy. We're not going to peel them today, but they are small. We are going to cut them into quarter sizes. Cut them as big as you want, as little as you want. I recommend cutting them small, quicker cooking time. And you also want to be aware of the sizes. You do want them relatively similar sizes, just so they're cooking evenly all together at the same time, okay? So like I said, we are doing quarters. Not an exact science, but just use your eye. You'll be fine. Using my favorite knife. If y'all want to buy me knives, new knives, I can try them out. You're more than welcome to. Okay, we got one more. How's y'all's week been, by the way? I swear, this week had like 8 days in it, and we're just Friday. Okay. All right. Olive oil going in. Get a good amount. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Okay. Rosemary. Rosemary, if you notice, it comes on a stem. All right. What you want to do, you want to hold one of the ends of the stem and just kind of pull the leaves off. Okay. You don't want that big stem in the middle. It gets really bitter when you cook it. Okay. So like this, we're pulling off. See how easy that was? Another one. Now it's going to get trickier when the stem kind of gets thinner over here. So just kind of pull them apart right from there. Okay, we're not done yet. Oops, got a stem there. Okay. So now we're getting a rough chop on them. I don't need them diced. You can do the dry ones, but you're not going to be able to cut them. And they are going to be the same length, and it's going to, that texture when you're eating it is not the best. Okay, so that's why I prefer fresh. Okay, all right, rosemary going in. Okay, garlic. We've discussed this before. Garlic is amazing. Okay, so we're peeling this too. You do want bigger, a little bit bigger chunks. We're not looking for a fine dice. Because when you put them in the oven, even though the temperature is not going to be crazy hot, if they're thinner, if they're smaller, they can burn. And who wants burnt garlic? No one. Okay. So if you see what I'm doing, smashing very lightly with a knife, just so the garlic cracks a little bit and the skin is easy to peel off. Whoops. Get back over here. Be careful not to cut yourself. If you do, it wasn't my fault. Okay, so again, nice rough chop. Okay, we're just kind of going out along. Okay. We do want a little bit smaller than this. So we're gonna go one more time. Y'all, if you have garlic powder, use that too. If you have there's some that come in the jar that's already diced. They're kind of soaking in oil. Use that too. Use whatever you have. Use whatever you see. Use whatever is cheaper. Okay. I just already have. I had a couple of cloves of garlic already, so that's why I'm using this. Okay. All right, garlic going in. Okay, this we're tossing. Now we're not done. I still need salt and pepper. But I just want to give them a good coat already. Y'all, it already smells amazing. Like just the olive oil, and as we're moving the rosemary around, it's just letting all those fragrances kind of bloom. Tell me this house already smells amazing.
It does.
Okay. All right, salt and pepper going in. Get a good amount. These are potatoes. They can take a good amount of salt, okay? Pepper. Okay, giving these a nice good toss. Okay. Back over here. Now, we're not done yet. There is still some goodness right in here. Okay, you want to put that on top. Spread these out. You don't want anything kind of on top of each other because that's going to prevent even cooking. All right, that's it. Okay, steaks. Super simple, y'all. Salt. Pepper. Set that down. Turn. I forgot, I already got that side. Okay. Going in reverse. Pepper. And pat that down to make sure that everything kind of goes in there. All right. Let's see how we're going to fit this on. This is it. This is the dish. It already looks amazing and it's not even cooked yet. It smells just as good as it looks. I promise. All right. This is going in the oven. So we're actually going to start this at 300, and I know that's pretty low, but that's how we're going to cook the steaks first. Okay. They're going to go in the oven first, 300, 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, we're taking the steaks out, bumping it up to 425, and we're going to let everything cook for about another 20 to 30 minutes. Okay. That's going in. And I'm going to wash my hands.
Jose says, "Where's your where's your drink?" Jose Rodriguez.
It's right here. He didn't go nowhere.
He came in later.
Oh, okay. We talked about it. I poured myself what I call a Daniel pour, which is different from a restaurant pour. We explained it. I just figured red wine goes perfect with steak, so why not? Okay. This is on. After they're cooking in the oven, we're going to be searing them. Now, a lot of people will do it reverse. They'll sear and then they'll bake. I feel like I have more control over the doneness of the steak, so this is the way that I prefer. Okay. So by the power of Facebook magic, we have a steak already done. Okay. So let's talk about oil and butter real quick. Butter has a very low smoking point, meaning it burns really easily, okay? So whenever you couple that with like olive oil that has a higher smoking point, olive oil doesn't really burn. So, but you do want the flavor from the butter. You don't want it to burn. So when you mix the two, you actually get something really, really great that's not gonna burn, okay? Now this is scorching hot, you all. Again, this is a sear. We're not cooking, okay? And we're adding butter. I know it's really smoky. We're going to be okay.
How much butter did you put in?
4 tablespoons, okay? Next, we're adding thyme and garlic whole. Steak going in. Okay, tilting. And we're putting the thyme. I know you can't really see it. We're putting the thyme and the garlic on the steak. Butter and olive oil, just keep on going over, okay? It's smoky, I'm sorry, but it is worth it, I promise. Okay? Again, sear happens really quick. We're getting really good color on here. Okay? Same thing going on. Okay. That's it. We're done. Get everything off. Get it off the heat. And again, by the power of Facebook magic, we have a plate that's almost ready to go. It's slightly smoking. It's okay. All right. Now we want a little bit more green on there. So we're going to tear up some basil. You can use more rosemary, whatever you want. Put it on there. Bam. Steak dinner for two. Now let's cut. Let's see how well I did. God, you can just see. Now normally you want to rest this for about 10 minutes, okay? I can't wait that long, y'all. It smells really good. Y'all. So if you want to look kind of in the middle, tell me that's not like a perfect piece of steak done. Pink right through the middle. No burning. It's all good. Potatoes nice and crispy. If you see the color on there, get out of here. It's good. Try the potatoes. With the skin on. So good. Alright, y'all. That's it for me. Please try to make this dish. Post pictures. Share this video. Hashtag Barely Homemade. If y'all have any questions, DM me. Post comments. Thank y'all for coming.
How do you spell barely?
Barely is B-E-A-R-L-Y. Homemade. Have a good weekend.